He had stopped correcting them a long time ago. Every morning at school followed the same pattern, the same voices circling him before the bell even finished ringing, asking where his father was, laughing a little too loudly when he didn't answer. That morning, it started again in the corridor outside his classroom, with a few boys blocking his path while more gathered just close enough to watch without stepping in. And one of them leaned in with a smile that didn't feel like curiosity. "Say it properly this time," the boy said, like it was a game they had played before. And when the child didn't respond, the laughter came quickly, sharper than before, as if they were waiting for him to break. He tried to move past them, but the circle tightened instead of opening, and someone behind him pulled out a phone as if they already knew how it would end. Inside the building, teachers were still moving between classrooms, until the sound of the school gates sliding open cut through everything. A black car rolled in slowly, not rushing, not hesitating, and even from a distance there was something about the way it moved that made people stop what they were doing without knowing why. Security stepped forward first, then paused when they saw who was inside, and that small hesitation spread faster than words through the courtyard. The car came to a stop near the main walkway, and the back door opened without urgency. A man stepped out, dressed too sharply for a place like this, carrying himself in a way that made the space around him feel quieter. The principal had already started walking toward him before she fully understood who she was looking at, and when recognition hit, she slowed as if her body needed a second to catch up with her memory. He didn't greet anyone. He just moved forward with steady focus, past the staff, past the confused stares, until his attention settled on the small crowd near the corridor. The boy was still standing there when everything shifted. The laughter had already faded into uncertainty, because even the students filming had lowered their phones without realizing it. The man stopped a few steps away, close enough for his presence to cut through the space between them, and when he spoke, his voice didn't rise above the silence that had already formed. "I've heard enough about what's been happening to him." The words landed without force, but nothing moved after them. The boy looked up slowly, as if trying to understand why the air suddenly felt different, and the man's gaze softened in a way that didn't match the authority everyone else was reacting to. He stayed there for a moment, just looking at the child as though he had been carrying something for a long time and had only now arrived in the same place it had been waiting. Then he spoke again, quieter this time, not to the crowd, but to the boy alone. "You were never supposed to hear any of that." A pause followed, heavy enough that no one tried to fill it. And then he said the one thing that made the entire school forget how to breathe. "I'm here now, because I'm your father."